John Dwyer here, and I am the owner of a marketing advisory business called the Institute of Wow. And what we do is provide direct response marketing concepts to businesses of all sizes. And I thought I would just give you a tip on repetitive trade. You know what? At the end of the day, depending upon who you want to listen to, it apparently costs 7 times more to find a new customer than to actually sell to an existing one. Now, whether it's 6 times more or 8 times, forget the numbers. We all know as business owners that it's much easier and much cheaper to sell to someone we've already got on board than it is to go out in that wide world and find someone new. And in order to do that, then you need to get to know your customers or even your prospects. And in saying that, it means you've got to collect details about them. You've got to collect data, and it's not just their name, and it's not just their phone number, and it's not just their email. It's also what their buying habits are. And this is why Amazon are scaring the daylights out of so many people, because they're experts at what we call behavioral marketing. They've mapped what sort of products you've bought. They've mapped, what sort of geodemographic profile you fall into, whether you happen to be in the eastern suburbs or the southern suburbs or the western suburbs, and what age group you fall into. They are pretty clever when it comes to behavioral marketing, or what I would probably call segmentation marketing. And to give you an idea how valuable this is, there was a restaurant at Sanctuary Cove on the Gold Coast who was a client of ours a little while ago, and I convinced them to collect the data of the people coming to that restaurant. And all they did was give away a dinner for 6 or a dinner for 10 at the end of each month, and they just gave you a little entry form for your name and for your email and for your phone number. And basically what happened is that over time, in collecting all of those details, they created a reward system. And that reward system gave them special bonuses if they kept coming back to the restaurant. They kept a record of all of that, so that when this particular guy was selling that restaurant, his name was Stephen, he had around about 10,000 on his database. Not only did he have their contact details, but he also knew how much they spent each week. So for example, if I was spending $100 a week, that meant I was worth about $5,000 a year to him. If someone else was spending $50 a week, then they were worth $2,500 thereabouts each year to him. So what he did, with obviously our coaching, is that he broke his database of 10,000 people into category A, B, C, D, depending upon what their weekly spend was, which basically then you multiplied out to what their annual value would be. And when he came time to sell the restaurant, he rang me up and he said, JD, we've got a guy here that's going to pay me just under $1 million for the restaurant. But he said, I've got this database that you forced me to collect, as if it was a chore. I'm only joking, he was pretty appreciative. And he said, these 10,000 people, what would I sell that to him for? I said, well, I don't know, pick a number. Anyway, he did pick a number. It was just under $100,000. And he said to this guy, I've got a database of 10,000 people broken up into their annual spend value, A, B, C, D. These people are worth, 150 a week. These people are worth 100 a week. These people are worth 50. And he said, I can give that to you. You're going to get 10,000 of my current customers with all their details and how much they spend each week. And I can give that to you for 90-something thousand. I forget what number it was, but it was 90-something thousand. The guy wrote the check on the spot. I mean, why wouldn't he? If you're going to be buying a cafe, restaurant, anywhere, this happened to be Sanctuary Cove, and someone's going to deliver to you on a platter all of the contact details of people who are already customers, plus how much they're worth every week, I would buy that in a heartbeat, and so would you, I'm sure. So that's the message I want to get across in this video, is that data is king, okay? And also repetitive trade. The only way that you can actually benefit from repetitive trade is to collect that data. If that's of interest to you and you want to get more of those ideas, you might be interested in watching my webinar, and you can actually click below the link and go straight through to that and watch it right now. It's not one of those where you have to book and then come back in 3 days' time. You can watch the webinar live right now by just clicking the link below. Hope you enjoy it.